What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. So I've already started my eyebrows, carved them out, and now I'm just putting the P. Louise eyeshadow base. The color that I'm using is Rumor 02 because I wanted to keep this look very cute and not have any like blending over my lid. I did want to make sure that the color that I used on top was going to be close to my skin tone. Now the tape I'm using is just regular Scotch tape, and I wanted to put that on my eye to make it a really sharp edge since we're using the black. Also, if you're using tape, you want to make sure that you press it all the way down, that way you don't have any fallout. Now the color that I'm using is ink. This is the Tartiest Pro Remix palette. That is the only black shade that's in there, so I use that, packed it in my outer corner. I keep dabbing the black on there until it's like super duper black because I want it to really shine that way instead of looking more gray. Now as I'm doing it, you see I'm keeping it kind of low in the same area that I would do a cut crease. You want to make sure that when your eye crease is up, your eye folds don't fold over the colors that you're putting on your lid, because if you do, then it will smudge them out. Next, I'm going to take this red color. The brush that I'm using is by Moda. I'm not sure what kind of brush it is, but I'm just kind of going really close to the black to blend those two together, but still packing the red color on. And of course, still keeping the red shade lower so that we don't have to do much cleanup over the colors that we put on. Just make sure that I kept the colors in like the same shape that I wanted to do my graphic liner above it, so that I wouldn't have much more work to do. This look was fairly easy if you do it that way. So now I'm taking the orange shade and packing it on, followed by this yellow that I'm putting in the inner corner. I've had this palette for a while and I have never really used it, and I'm ashamed to say that because the colors are really like pigmented. Like look at this yellow, it was shining bright. So now I'm going to take my NYX liquid vinyl eyeliner. I started in my inner corner because I wanted to have a cat eye effect, and this is the same liner that I use over the colors to make that graphic eyeliner effect, and I use it over my eye as well. So this eyeliner pencil is like, this is like a holy grail for me because this thing, it glides on so easy. Whenever I started this part, I made sure that I didn't have too much product on the brush and that the brush was like really thin, like to its thinnest point, to make sure that I did not make a mess of this. You need to make sure that you have a really steady hand. Now on this part, I did take my time. I went really slow. I did speed up the video so you can't really tell how slow I was going, but I was going pretty slow to make sure that I did not get this part messed up because I was super worried about it. And since my eyes are so close to the camera now, like you can kind of see where my eyes would fold, and you want to make sure that you're doing the look over your eye folds. That's what I mean, because if we had gotten the eyeliner in there, then it would have been messed up. So right there I did mess up a little bit, so I just took a little bit of orange and put it, like cleaned up that area that I messed it up. These colors are very potent, so it was easy to do that. And here I'm also just making my eyeliner thicker. It just wasn't like popping enough for me, so I just went and made it a little thicker. Now that I've taken the tape off, you can see how sharp of an edge it made it for us. So make sure that you use your tape. Don't ever forget it. Sometimes I forget mine and I always hate myself for it. So here I'm going back with the same technique, just going slow and making the upper area thicker, because I wanted to make sure that you like knew that it was intentional for that black to be there and for it to just be on my lid like that. So the eyelashes that I'm using here, these are from the beauty supply store. These are Miss A's mink lashes. So these are a lot thicker than the ones that I normally use from Miss A. And I mean, I think they're like $4.99 at the beauty supply store, but they are like popping. Like look at these. Now I did go ahead and do my other eye off camera, so now we're going to move on to skin and face. I started with the Touch and Soul Glassy Skin. This is their moisturizer. I got this in a boxy charm box. Now I'm going to take the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Correcting Primer, followed by my favorite. This is the MAC NC45 Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. I've been using this foundation for years. It's literally like my favorite thing on the planet. Now this is the ColourPop Pretty Filter Concealer. Now I just started using this one. This one's fairly new to the collection and I love it. The contour color that I'm using is by LA Girl Cosmetics. I think the color is Chestnut that I use, and I'm just blending it out with an angled kabuki brush. I think that brush is by Moda. I'm not like entirely positive on that, but I think that that's what it is. And I did use the brush for the contour, and I like to use a beauty blender for my concealer blending. Now I'm taking the Makeup Revolution banana powder, setting powder to set my face. Now the bronzer that I'm going to use it is also by Tarte. This is the Park Avenue Princess palette. I did mix the two darker shades together to try to create a bronzing look. I use it on my nose. Also, I use like a small illuminating brush to snatch my nose. And I mean, honestly, look at it. So now this is just the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil I use for my waterline. And the palette that I'm using for blush is by BH Cosmetics. It's an eyeshadow palette, but it has blushes at the bottom. Now this Iconic London Illuminator, this, I was excited to use it, but not really feeling it once it went on. So I just did try to like go ahead and blend it out on both sides to make it even, but I took a foundation brush to try to blend it better into my skin because it's just not for that. Like, it's just not popping. So I went ahead and picked up my favorite Huda Beauty. This is her highlighter palette kit, and I just went ahead over everything and redid it. So this is also by Iconic London. I do really like this setting spray because it gives you really like glittery, glowy skin. And this lip pencil, this is a black. I wanted to create like a red ombre effect. So this is by NYX Cosmetics. It's just like a kohl pencil in jet black. The color that I'm going to use for the red, it is by Beauty Bakery. I cannot for the life of me think of what the name of the actual color is, but it is by Beauty Bakery. I got it at Ulta. It's one of their mini lippy lipsticks. So that is pretty much the end of this tutorial, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was pretty easy for me to create, so I hope it was easy enough for you to follow. If you have not already, like this video, subscribe, and you'll see my face in the next video.